But now I gotta be okay. So I wrote a note, everybody. I'm gonna post the recordings. Okay, I forgot to post the recordings. Jeez, man. Okay. Again, I wanna thank everybody for posting all the stuff yesterday on Teams. And even if you didn't, go have a look at some of the stuff on there. It's really, really good. You guys got me thinking. Oh, Kathy's here. Good to see you, Kathy. You guys got me thinking for my next class. My next classes, you guys have really inspired me. Where I think I'm going to get the class to develop the resources. So put together the resources. You guys put together some amazing stuff there, and maybe the next group's going to be bone stupid and they won't be able to do anything like that. I don't know, but you guys have raised the bar on that, and about how cool it is that you guys have been posting some really amazing stuff. Not sure if my link worked. I couldn't find that exact video. Yeah, I haven't looked at your. That was the last one I saw there, Crystal. So I'll look at that today. Usually it does, like with the Facebook, it takes you into the Facebook, so that's all right. And is Family Matter, like what's Family Matters? Is that a TV show? I'm an old man. I don't know these things.
Yeah, it's a TV show from quite a while ago. It follows a Black family and how they go through life, and it's a scene about where his teenage son got pulled over by a set of white cops and was given a really hard time about it. And then the dad goes and he finds these cops and like talks to them about, okay, well, why did you pull him over? Why did you give him a hard time? And the clip that I have, it includes like the lead up beforehand. It includes the interaction with the cops at the diner, and then it has kind of like a follow up with the son afterwards and how they resolve and how they're going to like do a complaint against this particular cop because it's pretty powerful. I came across it on Facebook a while back, but I couldn't find it anywhere else. I couldn't find it on YouTube. I tried to Google it, but all I could find anywhere else was just the diner scene. But I wanted to have like kind of the before after, because the diner scene is pretty charged in and of itself. But when it has the beginning with the son, the diner scene, and then the afterthought with like how they dealt with it afterwards with the son, I thought it was a pretty good scene.
Okay, well, thank you I look forward to looking at that. Boy, yeah. I forget who posted the privilege video of the black dude, his kid, and his white wife, and he's got the fingers up, and when they have the pulled over by the cops, that was really, really powerful. That man, and that little boy sitting on his dad's lap with his eyes like saucers. That was powerful. That was all. I had to, golly, man. But I would look at these resources and go, "Oh my, that was something else." That I had to go for a cigarette every now and then just to get clean a bit. All right. But thank you, guys. So you've really inspired me. I feel bad for the next group because now they're going to have to make the resources. I don't have to do anything. I'm going to be all right. All right, let me do my good mornings. And as I said, we don't have a very long one today. I just want to sort of set up what I'm hoping for today and get us ready for next week. And next week is a focus on working, finishing some stuff up. I'll go in more detail about the assignments and all that kinds of stuff and be your mentor through the day when you're putting this stuff together, and throw it by me. See if it's working, see if it's not. I'll be kind, I know Megan's probably looking at me going, no, if I get something wrong, he's going to make me buy a beer. So I'm going to try my best, Megan. New day. All right, new day. I'm wearing my Japanese baseball team that I used to play for in Japan. I couldn't make it in the minor leagues or the house leagues, so I got a gig in Japan. I'm just joking. All righty, here we go. We've got Ashley Jameson, and bless you, Ashley. I guess you've been doing some really nice stuff. Or you sneezed. I don't know what it was, one or the other.
I sneezed.
It is weird. You're sitting here and going, bless you, Ashley. And I scroll up and go, well, what did she say? I didn't see anything powerful or anything like that. Okay. So I assumed you sneezed. All right, Ashley, good to have you here. I was feeling bad about my conversation. I was feeling bad by a lot of conversations yesterday, all from this mouth. And the mom thing. I'm sorry about that. I was just, that's not appropriate. It's not appropriate.
I know it's a joke, so it doesn't bug me.
Yes, thank you, Ashley. Thank God you got a sense of humor. I was waiting for an email from my boss and a mandatory human rights workshop to attend. All righty. So, Ashley, good day. I'm glad you're here. Kathy, it's good to see you. And again, it was lovely yesterday with your hubby giving you a little peck on the head. That's not, dang. I love the love. Crystal, as always, good to see you. And I'm intrigued by your son and his drumming, man. He looks like a cool dude. Emma Filion, you look just so peaceful. You look
It's so nice and quiet. Even my cats are down here. They never come down here.
Kids are lovely. Oh, kids are lovely, but the piece is nice too. That's really, really, really sweet. Emma Snell, you were the very first one on, sister. And I promise I'm going to be nice to you today. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything weird and bad, all righty? I'm going to keep it cool. But I'm going to fail, but I'm going to do my best, all right? I'm going to do my best. And we've got Jasmine Van Deen here in the house with those funky glasses and that beautiful head of hair. Jody Black, I only see your name, but I feel your presence. I feel it. Oh, I feel it in my heart. So it's so nice that you're here there, Jody. Larissa, that was so great seeing your beautiful face this morning. Thank you, and I'm intrigued by that spot that you're speaking in. Masha, Trisha. Okay, Trisha Vincent's here. Oh, she had to restart her internet. Masha, that was a very interesting commentary you put up there about Macklemore and white privilege and white privilege too. That first song was about how there was really trouble in the music industry where like the big platforms that showed music and played music were not playing black music. And when MTV first started, kids, I'm an old man, I remember it, they didn't have black artists on for years until Prince came out, became big. So it's always been a trouble in music, which is funny because if you're really honest about modern music, it all has its feet in black culture. We have kind of stolen a little bit. So thank you for that. And holy smokes, is Masha always that opinionated on teams? Like, that was huge. Did anyone else had to go for a break halfway through? That was huge.
Sorry, I didn't mean it for it to be that long, but my mom went to bed early because she had a massive headache, so I was just like in my thoughts, and I just like word vomited on Teams.
No, I loved it, Masha. I loved it. You kids just write 2 sentences nowadays because of the Twitter stuff, and that was nice to see a tome. So yeah, no, that was great. Thank you, Masha. Thank you very much. And sorry about your mom, about migraines are terrible. My wife gets terrible migraines, and you can only imagine being married to a guy like me and having migraines. It's rough. It's rough. The doctor says the cure is divorce him. So I'll do anything for her. All right. Oh, good to hear, Masha. All right, we've got Megan Workington who owes me a great big beer. And it's a Guinness, Megan. It's a big one. It's a Guinness, the most expensive Guinness, all right? And it's got to be poured by a certified Guinness pourer. Sorry. This is going to cost you a lot. You better not ask questions anymore on Teams. Right, Aronson, it's good to have you here. I haven't seen your face, but again, I feel your energy. And Salin, I did good today, Salin. But I know she still stuck the period in there, so I like that. You got good. You're cool. You're cool.
I don't know.
I don't know why it has that in there, to be honest. Like I don't know. I didn't put it in there.
I think it's cool, Sally. I think you put it in there, Sally. Someone didn't do that, all right? The WebEx people didn't go, oh, let's have some fun with this weird name named Sally. We'll put a period beside it. You
When
did
for
it
the
somehow.
longest time, my name was just numbers. My name would not change. So every time I logged into class, I was like 12045. So that's what Michelle and Melinda would call me. And then one day I was able to change it.
Yeah, I had one student, it came across as owner, and another student was Red River College. So yeah, it does weird things. All right, Selene, I'm glad you're here. Sandra Anderson, I am glad you are here. Look at you looking so peaceful with that. I think that's a cat. Is that a cat or? Yeah, that's a big cat, man. That's a big cat. Holy smokes, love that cat. All right, Trisha. Oh shit. Brozit. Brozit. Brosite. Thank you, Trisha. Thank you. Oh, God, I don't know why I get stuck on your name. All right, glad to have you here, Trisha. Glad to see your face. That's so sweet. And then Trisha Vincent, who had some internet troubles and is back with us. That's lovely. All right, so guys, it's just going to be very, very short today, as I'm just going to sort of set up. If you haven't looked at the team stuff, look at the team stuff from yesterday. Some amazing, amazing things there, man. Really amazing. And today, I'm throwing out another challenge to you guys for teams. I'm just wondering if you can find some stuff online that deals with universal design principles. That's the focus today, right? How do we physically make access to folks with unrecognized abilities, to folks with diverse cultures and oh, I'm sorry, Trisha. Everybody in the room is going, lucky Trisha. She can't hear a single word he said. Oh, lucky Trisha. Well, we'll get her back on. Oh, look at her initials, TV. I find pleasure in small things. All right, let's hope Trisha gets back on. So if you guys can find something on the internet, the old World Wide Web, that deals with universal design principles. And again, those are the physical manifestations of inclusion and diversity. Those are the things we put in to make sure that people can have access into places. I think I mentioned to you about how I had a job driving a resource van, a resource truck, and I had to always make sure the information matched the community I was in from a language perspective. It's really important. Of course, if you had a wheelchair, you couldn't get into the truck. Anywho, I digress. So I want you guys to find anything on the internet that deals with universal design principles. I put some boring stuff up on Learn. I put just a couple of resources about what it means in daycare. I put the checklist on there, which you will be using today or tomorrow, but we can get a lot of this done today because I was thinking that you don't have a lot of opportunity to go through your daycare and see how you're doing from an inclusion and diversity perspective because you have to stay in cohorts. All right. So I think we found a way around that and may have to rely on a bit of memory for you guys, which is okay. It's just a task. And then I have to make a discussion item for you. And there's no flip grid today, but there will be this discussion item where you're going to put in your ideas about how you're doing from a universal design perspective. All right. I'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. Hey, did you guys see the flip grid yesterday? That was my wife. That was funny. Yep. She wanted to be a part of it. So there we go. I thought she did a pretty good job. Yeah, pretty good job. So today I want to talk a little bit about, oh shoot, where'd my notes go? I want to talk a little bit about access and just hear from your viewpoints about access and getting people into places. I was struck a few years ago. I was a part of a protest at the government building downtown, and it was a disability protest because we were trying to enhance the Vulnerable Persons Act, which means that it's a crime if you know that someone with an unrecognized ability is being abused. If you don't report it, you're in trouble. Just like our child abuse policy, but for vulnerable folks, right? So we're having a big protest about that. Do you think we could get people with wheelchairs into the front foyer of that place? They had to go through the back. They had to go through the back of the building to get in. Dignified, right? Wasn't really dignified. And then we could only go to the one spot because they couldn't get upstairs. So I just found the irony was weird. We're talking about access, we're talking about vulnerable people, and yet our own government building makes it pretty tough, you know, if you've got some mobility issues to get into that space. So it is something for us to think about. I want you guys to share, though, just your knowledge about what you know about universal design principles, because it's all around you, all around us. And we've come a long way. It's all around us. So I want to see if we can identify some of those features that are around us right now from universal design principles. So what accesses, like what do you see on a day-to-day basis of access for folks with either physical, things that they got to deal with, language, cultural, intellectually? What are we doing from a physical perspective to provide access? What do you see? What do you see out there? Yeah, Tricia, you are Winnipeg sidewalks in the wintertime really bother me, actually. Thank you for starting off on something that I get my knickers in a knot about. I'm going to get to Megan's. Thank you, Megan, for being positive. That was beautiful, beautiful ramp. That's excellent. But Tricia, you know, I used to live in a couple of different provinces, and it was the homeowner's responsibility and the business owner's responsibility to shovel the sidewalks. I moved to Winnipeg, and now we wait for what? When that guy comes by once a month, you know, with the machine. And I am really fortunate to see on my street, we have a bit of a, because we have a lot of group homes in my community. In my street on Cathedral in the North End, good job shoveling. We actually, it's me and this old guy 2 doors down, we have a challenge with each other about, you know, who can be the first one to shovel, who can get it. Now the whole street's doing it. I see people in wheelchairs on the road. That's not safe. And it's not dignified. It's not dignified. So yeah, that is that's a cognitive barrier that people are doing. How can you live in a house with a messy sidewalk that you know is going to stop people from doing the things that they want to do? I used to have an old lady that lived down the street who had mobility stuff, and she used to thank us all the time. That's ridiculous. Thanking us for shoveling is just what we do as human beings. So anyways, thank you for getting me all riled up, Tricia. I'm going to have to go for a walk with the dog to get out of that, but it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. And even in where I lived in Ontario, we used to call it bad boy shoveling. If you were an elderly person or unable to shovel your sidewalk, they'd bring out the prisoners from the jail and they'd shovel it for you. Bad boy shoveling. But it was nice because the old ladies, they'd bring them like muffins and food, and there was a bit of humanness, and it was good for everybody. So thank you for bringing that up, Tricia. We had Megan say, you are absolutely right, Megan. Whoop. Yeah. Cutting sidewalks, making sure that people with wheelchairs or walkers or stuff like that can get from one end of the street to the other end of the street is an example of universal design principles. I know a lot of you guys are young and you grew up with this, but in my day, when I was a young guy, we didn't cut the sidewalks. They were regular curbs. This is a fairly new, right? So within my lifetime, I've seen this thing happen. All righty. What else did we have here? Support bars and washrooms to help people go to the washroom by themselves. Absolutely. Again, with the dignity. Universal design principles is all about dignity. It's all about you can do this yourself and you don't need to have access. And again, in the old days, if you were in a wheelchair, you had to figure that out yourself, how to go to the washroom or have somebody help you. That's not dignified. That's not dignified. We want to be able to do our most basic of functions in a dignified way, and the sport bars help. And come on, everybody, let's all be honest. Haven't you guys been in sort of not feeling very good or a sore back and you've relied on those support bars in the washroom? Or is it just me? Yes, thank you, Masha. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you go, thank you, support bar person. You know what drives me crazy? Tricia has got me on this. Oh, you know what drives me crazy? I say this all the time when we used to be at the college, but those little punks that would kick the door opening disc with their feet, I'd always freak out on them. Say, people use their hands to touch that thing. Don't put your dirty shoe on there. Use your elbow or something else, for Christ's sakes. God, that's not. Oh, God, Tricia, see what you've started? I hope you're happy. I bet you guys get online, go, let's get Mark all riled up. That'll be fun to watch. All right. We literally just had sidewalks put in out here as they weren't any. Yeah, Megan, that's it. You know what? You brought up something really good there, too. Some parts of the city with the new developments don't have sidewalks, and it comes in later. And rural areas don't have a lot of sidewalks. And people still need to get from point A to point B on their own.
Yeah, they just put in a path for the kids in Tyndall so they could actually like walk to school like safely, because there's just streets everywhere, right? We don't have actual sidewalks. And that's like the main drag. So
yeah, and that's the town of Tyndall then, right? That's the town of Tyndall. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you know, streets are dangerous. I'm known as the risk guy. I talk all over the country about risky play and been doing it for years. And I'm cool. I'll give a kid a knife. I'll give a kid a drill. I'll give a kid anything. But please don't. I don't want to walk by a road with them. That scares the hell out of me. Because I can't control that, right? I can control the knife and a drill. I can't control some driver. So those are really big things. And again, the dignity of being able to get to one place on my own. You want to say something else, Megan?
oh no, and they just actually got a crosswalk too for them. So it was just like everyone, I don't know, road maintenance, I guess.
Well, you're a small town, right? And you're and so with this, you're going to see a lot more access because a lot more people are going to be out there. And that's really important. I've had this conversation with folks going, well, why bother? Because they can have handy transit. Handy transit doesn't work like that. Handy transit, my friend Scott, he has to decide what's the most important ride for him. He only gets one shot. What's the most important ride? He works at a radio station. So that's his most important ride. If he wants to go for a beer, he can't. Handy transit won't allow that. So he has to be able to have access to be able to do things on his own. So that's really important. Thank you, Megan, for that. Masha, I think some of the city is still like that, especially with churches, at least from what are you talking about, Masha? How did we get into religion we're talking about universal, it's universal design, not universal religion.
When you were talking about the sidewalks and shoveling, I'm pretty sure there's still some disputes between the churches and cities versus who should be shoveling the sidewalks or clearing the sidewalks. The churches think the city should be doing it, but the city thinks the churches should be doing it. So no one ends up doing it.
Yeah. And the city will do it, but as I said, it'll be once a month.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's funny, that's surprising to me because I walk my dogs 3 times a day and I pass by quite a few churches in my community, and they do a good job. They shovel up because they get it, right? And it's funny you say that though, Masha, because I do judge on that. I do judge going, if you're a church, you should be shoveling sidewalks because, isn't that the right thing? The right thing to do. Okay, that's interesting. Thank you, Masha. Elevators and buildings at multiple levels. Yeah, and getting them in, Emma Snell. You are absolutely right. And all accessible. They even talk to you when you press the buttons and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. Why doorways for wheelchairs? I used to do a thing at the college where we would take the universal design principle checklist and go see how the college is doing. And my one student group found an accessible bathroom. So it had the little sticker, with wheelchair friendly or whatever. And the doorway was too small. They couldn't get a wheelchair in. That was weird. That was kind of weird. But you're right. Most doors have much wider doorways for wheelchairs. It is really expensive. I have a friend who's on New Directions board, and they buy houses up to for folks, right? And one of the things they have to do is spend a lot of money expanding the doorways so you can get wheelchairs in. So that's well said there, Kathy. Thank you. Masha, I live by a 55 plus building. Oh, that breaks my heart because I'm 56. When I see something like that, I never thought I'd be that old. And I could be living there, Masha. So I'm going to read this and I hope it's positive. I live by a 55 plus building, and there's so many people in the scooter and wheelchairs cruising around Bishop on the road because the sidewalks are so bad. Yeah, that's really dangerous. And they always have a Jets flag. You notice that? Weird. Mine will be a Bruins flag. I'm a Boston Bruin fan. I can't wait to use a scooter, by the way. I can't wait. But yeah, you're right, Masha. That freaks me out. And what breaks my heart, when I drive downtown, I see these guys in wheelchairs. They don't even have motorized wheelchairs, and they're on Main Street, getting under the railway bridge. Just before whatever that street is, Dufferin or something like that. It breaks my heart. And people honking their horn and getting all upset. Well, come on, man. What else are they going to do? You can't get through the sidewalks, and the roads are plowed first. So yeah, that just breaks my heart. Now, Masha, if I'm in your community and I see you honking your horn and giving them the finger, I'm going to go, you lost 5 marks in this class. All right? You lost 5 marks. That's just not cool. All right, Salen, something that bothers me is that most places don't have adult change. Oh, wow. Salen, that was, dang, eh? Yeah, that most places don't have adult change tables. I had a client that had to change on the floor in the bathroom. Oh, wow. Yeah, Celine, wow. You're right. You're right. I always just thought it was so good we finally have change tables in a men's room, which isn't a lot. Not many men's rooms have them, but they're changing. I never even thought, oh my God. Yeah, that's, boy, that's not dignified. Thank you, Celine, for that. Now oh boy. So I guess that's the new, we're going to have to be, Trisha Brosite, I think wants to chime in on here.
Yeah, no, Celine made a really good point, because when I used to work with adults with disabilities and I'd be supporting a male and he would need to use the washroom and there wouldn't be, a family washroom, I would have no choice but to take him into the women's because he couldn't be on his own. So that there's just even just having the family bathrooms isn't there all the time. Yeah.
Well, I never thought about that. That's never been in my experience. So yeah.
I never thought about it before until I actually worked with clients where I would have to, where I was taking them out of the community, and I realized, oh my goodness, there's no to change them, and now I have to change them on this dirty floor. Like, it's sad.
Yeah, okay. It's funny. My next question after all of this was, what's missing? What's missing out there? And boy, you just hit that one on the head there, Salin. You're right. You are absolutely right. Boy, yeah, I've never even thought about that before. Damn, how come you're not teaching this class, Salin? Wow. Yeah, that's okay. So that's something missing. Into the next question. Just barely getting change tables into men's rooms. I always look for that. You know, I'm a very pro male with, you know, fathery kind of thing, and we have to have the same rights as anybody else to be able to change our kids. But I never thought about that. Jeez, man. Okay, so Lynn, so that's on our checklist, for something to do in the future. That, you know, we are making some progress when we have adult change tables. And you know what, though, we're all going to remember, Celine, in 10 years when we walk into a washroom, there's an adult change table. And we'll go, Celine with a period came up with this years ago. Sorry, Celine, I just thought I'd throw that joke in just to liven things up a bit. All right. Okay, Jasmine Van Veen. I live in a 55-plus apartment. Jasmine, we got to talk, Jasmine. Okay, because I want to know more about those places. All right. And there's only one elevator on one side of the building. That's not dignified. Again, that's not, you have to go in that way, I get to go in this way. Yeah, that's just not fair. We got to rethink about how we design our spaces so it's accessible and fair to all folks. Thank you, Jasmine. All right, Tricia Brosite, wheelchair parking, but no ramp to get into the sidewalk. I noticed that, and IKEA is notorious for that. I hate IKEA anyways, but IKEA is notorious for that. Or, if you've noticed, the parking spots aren't big enough to allow someone to open up the side doors of the van to bring the wheelchair out. You know, you need a whole bunch of room there, but you're absolutely right. Yeah, I noticed that at certain shops. It's nice you painted the spot blue, but now you got to cut the hubs on, so it helps people recognize that they're at a curb. Yeah, thank you, Tricia. Buttons open doors, yeah, that has been beautiful. That's been, again, so accessible. I don't know if you were moved by that part in King Gimp when Dan's trying to get into the university, having a hell of a time, right? Nice, easy buttons to get into a space so you don't have to ask for help all the time. Can you guys, I can't empathize because my wife says all the time I never ask for help. But can you just think for a second that to go to a restaurant, I'm going to have to ask for help. To go to the washroom, I'm going to have to ask for help. To get out of my damn car, I'm going to have to ask for help. You know, I don't know about you guys, but that would drive me insane. That's why I like the universal design principles, because it takes that out. Folks don't want charity. They just want to be able to access spots on their own. So that's thank you. Buttons that work, though, they're not often maintained. Yeah, because they're expensive. You got to keep them up, man. You got to keep them up. Thank you for that, Emma. Jasmine, again, for a while, everyone had to park on the road as their parking lot was being renovated. And a lot of the people walkers, you got to accommodate that. When I used to work in construction, and whenever we would do these projects, you had to accommodate. When we do this, what will be the impact on the folks over here? It's just humanness, right? And it's just human dignity for folks. Boy, oh boy, there's some great things. I like in Charleswood, there's a huge, yeah, I live in Charleswood, there's a huge lack of sidewalk. Yes, Kathy, she's sort of, oh no, Sandra Anderson. You're right, Sandra. And what's great about Charleswood, you guys have great ditches. So you can only imagine being in a wheelchair on the side of the road. Yeah. And then ending up eaten by a deer. That's the Charleswood. That's the full Charleswood experience. All right. Yeah. Thank you for that. But again, Sandra, it really says something to some. If you move into that community and you're in a wheelchair, you do kind of look around and go, I guess I'm not kind of wanted here. You know what I mean? It makes you feel funny. All right. Trisha Vincent, at Donwood School, they barely have sidewalks. We walk on the road more often than not. Again, that's scary. That's terrifying, and it's just going to cause trouble. That freaks me out. The streets around Donwood. I don't know where Donwood is, but it sounds like a very interesting place. I used to live in Charleswood too, and that's so true, Sandra, from Emma Filion. Okay, we're not going to do an anti-Charleswood thing here, all right? We're going to keep cool, all right? Let's nail Tyndall. Trisha, I've taught my daughter not to use the buttons to open doors to save the battery or whatever it's powered by, as we were able to open. Yeah, dang, I wish I was more like you, Trisha. You're right. You're right. You're right. I used to work in the Indigenous community up in the north coast of BC, and I have an elder who adopted me, and she's very Millie Heisem's very close to me, and she would always tell me, "Don't press that button." But hers was from a different perspective, because in the North Coast people, they believe that if you pretend to sit in a wheelchair, you're going to get into a wheelchair. If you're pressing those buttons, you're going to end up having to use those things. So, still good reason. You're absolutely right. Save the batteries. I'm going to think about that, Trisha. Thank you for that. Geez, you're pretty wise there. Lucky kid. She's got you as a mom. Small towns having crosswalks. Headingley has very few. Yeah, Emma, it's because of the jail, Emma. The jail. If you have a crosswalk by a jail, you're just encouraging them to leave. So I'm just joking, Emma. I'm just joking. Headingley is in the same spot as Tyndall. It's growing faster than the infrastructure, and you're going to see a lot of change. And you've got that great big highway running through it. So they're going to have to do some really interesting infrastructure stuff to accommodate those folks. All right, Emma. Okay, Ashley Jeanson. We have 3 crosswalks in Lorette, and we petitioned to get lights in a few years ago, but got denied. They just put lights in this year, though, thankfully. People never stopped. So many people almost got hit, including myself, so many times. All right, that's a perfect opportunity for a French driver joke, but I won't, because this is diversity. All right, and during this course, I will not say anything against the French. But good on you guys as a community to try to get some change there for folks. Ashley, we have cross lights and lit, and people still get hit in Winnipeg, right? It's just people being more respectful when they drive. But thank you for that. And Masha, pretty sure of old Headingley has one sidewalk. Otherwise, it's all road and sketchy because it's curves and people drive fast down there. Yeah, again, another growing community. And they'll get there. They'll get there. But again, people are probably going to have to ask for that. I live by the highway, and there's no way to cross except the lights by Bright Beginnings. Yeah, that's scary there, Emma. Please be safe. Don't have your phone on and listening to music. Be awake and aware of your spot, all right? Am I starting to turn into Emma's dad?
Oh, when we were kids, we weren't allowed to go anywhere near the highway. But of course, when you're school-age children, you're rebellious, and like we would like have to run because there's an ice cream store right across the highway, so we have to book it across the highway every time we wanted to go there. And like we were, I'd say we were pretty careful. Like none of us almost got hit or anything, but yeah, it was still a lot scarier because I mean it's a highway.
Yeah, it's dangerous, Emma. It's really scary. You know, it's really scary. I'd rather the kids of Headingley smoke cigarettes than have to cross that road. Maybe that's what I'll advocate. No, but you're right. That scares me, Emma. Be safe, will you, little sister? Jeez, I know I make fun of you, but I care. All right, I live in a new development in Headingley. We don't have any sidewalks. I haven't seen any streets beside the store close to the. I haven't seen any streets besides the store close to the school. What do you mean by that, there, Emma Snell? Oh, sidewalks. Sorry. Okay, gotcha. Got you, sister. All right. Is that because? Oh, here. Look at what's happening here now. Emma and Masha are having a conversation, and we're trying to do a serious thing. Is that little ice cream convenience store by the river? Because then, yeah, that's the only sidewalk that goes from Marston to the gravel road to the Bewdley Park, and other than that, the Hartel Trail. There's no safe way to walk through the community. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Masha.
There's only 2 trails that go on one edge, one part of Headingley, and then on the other, but nothing in between. There's no sidewalks. Probably like near the school, but that's it. There's otherwise, if you're going for a walk or a bike ride through the community, you're on the road.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's really sketch.
Yeah, that's scary. That's really risky. And you got a lot of transports. You got a lot of road traffic there. All right. Yes, that's what. His paintings were so beautiful. Oh, is that Dan? I think that's what Trish is talking about. Am I right? This is like all these side conversations going on. I like it though. I think it's cool. Wasn't there a thing with Winnipeg Square that it was a big deal for? Yes, Tricia. You cannot take a wheelchair. You have to go underground to get under Portage and Main and get back up in the elevators to be able to access the other side. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's really, really tough. It's a lot like that poor guy, that video I posted with the guy trying to get the rainbow bagel in Brooklyn or Manhattan. He was in Manhattan going to Brooklyn, and same thing, man. You got to take elevators and that's like half an hour, just across the damn street. So yeah, thank you for that. We have angled street parking, not the best yet. That's an old Prairie thing. It's tight, and you can't get a wheelchair out of there. Because you don't have to go underground across the other side, but I don't think it's very accessible to go a block across the lights. Well, it's a little bit more than that. You got to go up to McDermott if you're going that way. They wanted to add a crossing there, but I think a lot of protests because it's a car city. Who's writing this? Masha. It's a car city we live in. So any talk of making things accessible at Portage and Main isn't going to fly in this city right now. Okay, because people don't want their traffic disrupted. Because that's really important. Sarcasm, insert sarcasm here. They just need to make everything accessible when they build it the first time. Yeah, we're learning, and you guys are going to see a lot of change. Maybe we are going to see Salin's dream of adult change tables. We're going to see stuff. We are. So I'm gonna just ask, what do you think is missing? What is missing from universal design principles? We've already identified the adult diaper stuff. Man, I can't get my head around that. Salin, I'm going to chat with my friends in the Disability and Community Services department and see if they know what's going on with that, because you really highlighted something there. But what do you guys see as what's missing right now? Is there anything that's sort of missing, like a big thought idea of, doesn't have to be a specific, it can be a big thing too. Emma Snell.
This connects to everybody's points about like the Portage and Main. Like if they made kind of like an above like pedestrian way, like they do it like in the mall, and just have like one big one that connects from one end of Portage to the other side of Main. If they kind of have like an above ground, like kind of like sidewalk. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Emma. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So again, more accessibility in a dignified way, getting from point A to point B. That's beautiful. Trisha, talking to people who need the accessibility and having, yes, Trisha, that they should be a part of the. Your cat kills me. Just peeks in and goes, what the hell? What the hell's that guy talking about? Yeah, those are the folks that need to be a part of the whole design stuff, right? The whole design thing. Those are the experts. Those are the people that live it day by day. You guys saw my reaction to the adult change tables. I don't live that right now. I may need it in a couple of years, but it's not a part of my life. I don't know those small little details that if we miss, becomes a huge problem for people. So you're absolutely right that they have to have a stronger voice in those decisions, and we have to be okay with it. You have to invest in it, folks. I'm sorry, but it's going to be good for everybody anyways. But yeah, thank you for that, Trisha. Their opinion. Yeah, deaf and blind assistance. And again, having you know what, Kathy, I don't know if you've seen this, but I'm blown away by technology, and I think technology is going to equalize everything. I really do. I really do. Because now I can have conversations with somebody using a communication board, and I can talk with them. We've come a long way. I've seen these, like, it's the cane, you know, the cane that folks with visual impairments have.
but it's hooked up to Google. So it's hooked up to Google Maps. So it actually talks to them. It shows where they are, and it says, you know, just like a GPS in your car. 2 more blocks to the right is the restaurant you want to go to, right? So it costs a lot right now, but it's going to get cheaper like everything else, right? Calculators used to cost you like $100. Have to give them away for free, right? So it's going to change. It's going to change, but I absolutely agree. But there is also a lot of assistance to folks with hearing impairments and visual impairments. The beeping sound at the crosswalks is that. The nubs in the cut curb is that, right? So we've done a lot of stuff that way. The talking on the bus, you know, to identify where the stops are is that too. So we've come a long way. That's beautiful. Yeah, what about concert halls? I feel like accessibility is limited. It's from Trisha Vincent. Imagine them sitting wherever they want to, like we do. Yeah, that's interesting, Trisha, that you brought that up. Because that's something I really notice a lot, that again, from a design perspective, it makes sense. We're going to have to change the whole idea around wheelchairs. I want to live in a future where we're not using wheelchairs anymore. We're using something else that allows people to get to some of those tight spots anyways. So yeah, that's a good point. Although I will say, what was the last concert? Oh, it was Slayer. That was the last concert I was at, like the big one at the MTS, and I sat beside the wheelchair accessible spot, and my God, did we have a party. Because they're a lot of fun. I haven't even talked about this, and maybe it's not proper, but, you know, people with unrecognized abilities, the reason why I like hanging around with them is they're weird. I get tired of normal people. I really do. You know, normal people get boring, and I like being with a bunch of weirdos. So that was a really nice spot to sit, and my wife and I had just a riot with that group. But I hear you. I've been paying attention to some of the different wheelchairs that people are using, the ones that get people up, which I think is really important, so that people always aren't crouching down to talk to you, that you're at eye level. And I know we're gonna see some big changes on how people get, again, moving from space to space. All right, yes, MTS has a lot of stairs. It sure does. Masha, some Starbucks somewhere has a camera for people to sign to each other so deaf people can order through the drive-thru as well. So it's like FaceTime or WebEx. That is so cool. It's doable. Come on. It's absolutely doable. That's amazing. Funny thing, can I say something funny about the signing? My class, my narrated PowerPoint slides, not the WebEx, but my narrated PowerPoint slides and blog are being from the deaf language department here at the college. So they're interpreting all of my stuff. And it's funny because I've had interpreters before, well, because I speak all over, so I have interpreters. They hate interpreting for me. For one thing, I say some bad words. And the other thing is I speak too fast. And so they have to take quicker breaks because they're like, oh, God, all right, next one. So anyways, that's going to be interesting. So that's great. Thank you, Masha. I'm gonna keep my eye out for that one. Trisha Brozite. My uncle is deaf. I never understood why my family didn't teach us sign. Yeah, that's a really good. No, that's a really good question. You are right. I know it takes a bit of time and a little bit of work, but being able to talk to each other is so key. There's a huge division in the deaf community about the use of sign versus the use of reading lips. And a lot of us go, well, reading lips would be so darn easier, but the sign language is its own culture and language, and it belongs to a community. So yeah, you bring up a really, really good point there. I would guest speak in the disability program because I really dig them. And there was a student there that was completely deaf, and I learned a couple of signs. But if you don't use them, you lose them, right? But I felt that I was forced into it because I thought she was a really cool cat. I really liked her. I liked her energy, and I felt that I don't want to talk through the interpreter to you. I would like to be able to say something to you. So yeah, that's a good point there, Tricia. Masha, my grade 3 teacher, had a deaf brother, so she would teach us the alphabet. And every Christmas concert, we'd sing the songs using sign. That is just so cool. That is so cool. I'll tell you something. It was very, very cool where the deaf community reached out to me because I do music with kids and I do rhymes with kids and stuff like that. So we developed, and I forget them now, but we developed sign language like nursery rhymes and sign. It was more of a cross between sign language and finger plays, if you get what I'm saying, so that it was more accessible to kids who couldn't use sign, but was fun using their hands. And it was cheeky and a little bit rude. And I used old rhymes from the 30s. And it was really cool. But that was like 25 years ago. Do they have a workshop on, what was this? Okay, sorry about this. Do they have a workshop on learning sign? Yeah, Tricia, I do believe. And I think even the college does some stuff. Let me check for you, Tricia. All right, sign workshop. And I have a good friend that she just graduated from the sign program, and I will ask her too. All right, that's a cool one. We'd sign that's very, very cool, signing the songs you sing. In the entertainment business, I've been trying to get better at signing. Okay, yes, Emma, of course. I can't say anything bad to you today. That was so beautiful. Yeah, you should learn a few things. That's going to just... Dang, Emma, that's going to go a long way. Ashley, you're going to say something.
We wanted to learn sign language as a center just so that we can be more inclusive as a center. So we've been watching and looking for workshops and stuff, and they're really hard to find and some of them are really expensive. But if you go on the government website, there is like a branch of the website specifically for resources for deaf people, and it links you to different schools and stuff. But through that, I found a YouTube channel that I'll send in Teams, but they have a whole sign language curriculum for free on YouTube. And I started watching a couple of them. And in like the first half an hour, I learned more about sign language as a language, as opposed to just like symbols thrown together. They teach you more of the actual language basics. So I'll post that in our Teams because it was really helpful.
Oh, I would love that. That's going to help. That's going to answer Tricia's question. That's going to get some stuff. That's beautiful, Emma. And thank you, Ashley. That would be so cool if you would post that in. I'm fascinated with the sign people at rock concerts. Have you seen the woman that does the signs for Lamb of God? Oh, I will post that. That's amazing. The heavy metal sign people are the best. Snoop Dogg's got a good one too. All right, heavy metal sign. I'm going to do that. They make the concert, man. And don't you love watching the sign people during the pandemic updates? Like their faces. They express things that nobody else does. I love them. Okay. All right. This is fun. All right. My aunt who is deaf works at Red River. Oh, I wonder, Tricia, if she's going to be doing my class. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Have you seen the interpreters at rap concerts? Yes, and I really dig that, Masha. Like Snoop Dogg's is amazing. Like it's so cool. It just adds. Yes, it's inclusion. Yeah, that's cool. But it also does the whole thing that you hope for inclusion. You hope for that it becomes better for all of us. And they make it, man. They make it. That Lamb of God lady is like, it is good. And Snoop Dogg's is, they just bring that music alive. I love it. I saw this video of a woman and her friend at a concert, and she was signing it to her friend. It's so cool to see. Yes, it is. Yes, please. Oh, thank you. All right. That'd be awesome, Ashley. Oh, Ashley's the big star today. Oh, look at that. They move their hands so fast. Same last name. We know you like to say. All right. Anything else that's missing, do you think, from a universal design perspective? You know, I'm going to get on my high horse right now. All right. And you know what's missing? Minnesota, in St. Paul, Minnesota. I was fortunate enough to go down with the band there and perform at an advocacy conference, and it was self advocates. These are folks with unrecognized abilities, not their workers, just the folks. And I learned in the States they do something different than what we do here. In the States, they don't segregate disabilities. We segregate disabilities. Every example you guys showed today is all dealing with sort of the physical disabilities, right? Physical mobility issues, you cut a curb. Visual impairment, you put the nubs on it, and you have the little notes, the little rings and stuff like that. But people with intellectual disabilities don't have those same accommodations. Still can't get jobs. Still isolated. Still lonely. So we segregate here in Canada. In the States, the people with the physical disabilities and the people with the intellectual disabilities work together on the same policies. That, to me, is what's missing here. We need to have the voice of not just folks with physical stuff, but with emotional, intellectual stuff. I love how the IGA in my community, maybe you guys have a grocery store like this too, but they have they 1 day a week, not so much nowadays because of COVID, but 1 day a week, it's autism friendly. Lower lights, not a lot of noise, not a lot of clanging on grocery carts and stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. So I see that as missing. I see that it's nice we're cutting curbs, but we also have to give jobs to people. We also have to have fair wage and better places to live. So that's my high horse, everybody. We're doing good for the folks with, we're doing okay for the folks with physical disabilities, but we have left out a group. And I want you to sort of ponder that and think about that. All right, I don't want to leave you on a bummer, but I do want. They taught me a lot. You know what they also taught me down in Minnesota. You know how they have the kids up here that wear the black, the anarchists. You know, the Antifa, all that stuff. They have that in the disability community in the States, and they wear T-shirts that are so offensive I can't even say them, and they are militant. So we need a bit of that here. Now time to be nice. All righty, let me wrap this up. This has been fun, folks. We've only got one more class together. That's next Monday, and that's a Word class, but we'll come on here on the old WebEx and stuff like that. I'm going to miss you guys. You guys, I don't know, this is such a weird medium, and you guys have just such a beautiful ability to cut through the weirdness of it all and make it human. So again, I appreciate you keeping on your cameras. I know that's weird. I appreciate all the commentary. I appreciate rolling with my jokes, especially you there, Ms. Snell, and sometimes pretty much everybody here I've kind of made fun of, actually. I really appreciate that. And you are a heck of a group, and as I said, you've inspired me to take what I've learned from you guys and apply it onto another class, so I appreciate that. So do we have any questions or comments about what the duties are today? I guess I haven't talked about the task. Oh my God. All right, remember Megan Workington, where are you? Remember, download it, all right, so you can hear my beautiful voice, Megan, all right, or don't, I don't care. Says a lot more about you than me. What do we got here? Here's the task I want you guys to do. So I've got included in Learn the checklist, right, for universal design principles. So I want you to go through the checklist today. You're going to have to use your memory. All right. And I want you to check off and make a little comment in discussion about what are you guys doing well at your daycare center regarding universal design principles. And then I want you to identify, what are we not doing so well? All righty? And that's it. And that's it. So just go through the checklist. If you need to contact somebody at work, do that, you know, because there might be a checklist item that you come up with going, oh, I don't know if we've got that or not. Give them a call, okay, and give them a little shout. All right, but let's try to get this done today. It's only worth a couple of marks, so it's not a big to-do. I just want you to feel comfortable with the checklist and keep it in mind when you're designing environments. All right, I'm thinking about people like Masha, who's the room supervisor now. You got responsibility there, sister. You know, all you guys are going to be directors in 2-3 years. Right? Guaranteed. So I want you to feel comfortable with this checklist and try. Look at Ashley's face. It's true, Ashley. Yes, it's true. I always get that face from people and they go, oh, I don't know. Right? Yeah, and then they call me up in 3 years going, oh my God, I'm a director now. It happens. I want you to feel comfortable with the checklist. So we're just going to give her a go. All right. So that's your duty today. No flip grid. Go through the resources. Post some resources about universal design principles. Something more fun than the ones that I posted. They're boring, except for the one video's okay. And also, Ashley, if you could post that, the deaf study stuff that you've come across, that would be dang cool. Really, really cool. And I will put together, I will talk to my friend about a sign workshop at the college. I will put up the heavy metal signing. And most importantly, I will post the recordings of the WebEx under each class. All right. Any questions or comments? Oh, what other courses do you teach? I teach most. Oh, yeah. Okay, Ashley, and go find my Cruella de Vil picture. I think that's on my wife's phone, but I will find that. All right, Cruella. What other courses do I teach? Usually play. I do all the plays and the diversity, inclusion stuff, and partnerships with parents. I like doing that class because it's something I do a lot of work in with families. That's about it. I'll take any class. I'll try any. I always like to try professionalism because I'd like to give it a go one of these days. I'd like to try to be a professional. Maybe I'll learn something. All right. Any questions or comments other than what classes I teach and where's that Cruella de Vil picture? All right. Oh, so we put yes, Megan. So once you check that thing out, like I don't need the checklist, Megan. I just want you to make a little document of give me a highlight. You know, what are maybe 5 good things you're doing, maybe a couple of things that you're not doing so well. All right, Megan. Thank you for that. Yeah, thank you for that. All right, and I will try to find the Cruella de Vil. If I don't find it today, I'll wait till my wife gets home with her phone. But I do have lots of pictures of me in bondage gear because I used to be in a 80s heavy metal band. So, yeah, I'll end with that story. That was always the funniest thing. I don't think I told you guys that, or maybe it's in one of the slides. I'm old, I forget. But my favorite place in Toronto, I'm like, 15, 16. I'm in Canada's very first speed metal band. We're very fast, very aggressive. And so we would hang out at these 2 places called the Ramrod and the Toolbox. And they were gay S&M shops where you could buy all the gay S&M bondage stuff and the masks and all that kinds of stuff and the studded belts and the studded wristbands. And so we'd hang out there, and we didn't know anything about gay people or not. We actually thought they weren't gay because they were so muscular and wore mesh tops and had great big mustaches. So it was kind of cool. Anyways, so it came for Christmas time, and my dad said, what do you want for Christmas? And I said, oh, they got this bondage collar at the Ramrod that I would love. And we had like the hooks and stuff like that. And he goes, huh? All right. So anyways, he drove downtown. And when he came back, he said, do you know what kind of shop that is? Oh, my God. And he explained to me gay S&M, which was really uncomfortable conversation with your father, if you've ever had that. Very interesting conversation. But anyways, we still hung out there. They were the nicest of folks, and I got my bondage collar, and he told that speech at my wedding. He's going, boy, oh boy, I'm surprised to be here. And you know what the weird thing was? I think it was about 10 years ago. I took my niece shopping when I was back in Toronto, and we went into like a Claire's, right? Isn't that a little girl store, Claire's? I love their chapstick. Their chapstick was the best. I used to go in there and buy the chapstick all the time. By myself, that was always uncomfortable. But I took in my niece into Claire's, and guess what they had hanging up? Pink studded belts and wristbands. And I turned to her and said, you know where you had to go and get this stuff? God, that was weird. So I can only imagine that in the future, Claire's will have bondage masks with Hello Kitty on the thing. I don't know. I guess that's where the world's going. I'm old. I'm watching it all pass by. Okay, why doesn't that surprise me? Yes, Masha, I don't think anything I can say. Life is a buffet, my friend. Dig in. Let's have some fun. Do some weird things. Life's too short, right? You live a million times, but you only die once, so let's have a good time. Alrighty. Seeing that there's no more comments, and I'd probably best to get out of here before I say something else that's going to shock you. Have a good day today, folks. Keep me in the loop on Teams. Keep posting that stuff. I'm loving that stuff. I will check out that Family Matters video there, Crystal. Okay, I'm curious about that one. And I'm around all day. All right, so keep me in the loop. Good luck today on your task. And Monday is assignment working day. All right, so we're going to get this done. We're going to get it all done. So I'm going to say my goodbyes and thank you for today, guys. You gotta know I really am alone here. It's just me and 2 dogs and a cat, and this is the highlight of my day. You know, it really, really is. You guys are so lovely. Oh my golly. All right, Ashley Jeanson, thank you for everything you shared today, and thank you for posting that link. I'm really curious about that. And you're right, Ashley. You know, I always tell people I want to learn how to play guitar. Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Everything's on YouTube. You guys are so lucky. You used to have to spend a lot of money for all that stuff, and you can do it on your own. So thank you, Ashley. I would appreciate that. Kathy, thank you for everything you provided today and the commentary. I love that. Crystal, good luck with your dog and your boy. And again, thank you for the sharing today. Emma Filion, have yourself a lovely day. And again, thanks for sharing your stuff. Emma Snell, I did pretty good today, didn't I? I did pretty good today. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself. All right, have a good day there, Miss Snell. Jasmine Van Veen. Have yourself, I think you're down there. I'm losing your camera. I only see that beautiful hair of yours, but have a beautiful day there, Jasmine. Jody Black, I'm hoping you're having an excellent day today. Larissa, that was so lovely to see you. Oh my God, that was lovely to see your smiley face. You got a beautiful smile. Masha, as always, good having a conversation with you. I like your edge. Megan Workington. Oh boy. Have you seen how much Guinness is? You better hope for some sort of Serb bacon or something like that. You're going to need it, sister. Salin, thank you for being you and sharing your stuff. And my God, you got me thinking about that change table thing. Jeez, man. That threw me for a loop. Thank you for that. I need that. That was amazing. Thank you. Sandra Anderson, good luck in Old Charleswood. And you know what? I got to thank you again and your daughter for yesterday. I thought what your daughter said was just absolutely incredible about that kid from her friend from Libya, and how she just nonchalantly said, I do Christmas, she does Eid in the summertime. Like that, I think nothing I could ever say, no PowerPoint, no nothing would sort of make that point about the value of diversity. That was lovely. Thank you, Sandra. I really appreciated that. I couldn't get that out of my head. Trisha, Brosite. Have yourself a lovely day. Oh, I love your energy, sister. And one day we're all going to get together and we're going to have a laugh somewhere. Oh, God, we got to do this face to face. Oh, and Trisha Vincent, I know you had some troubles today with the old internet, but we got you back every now and then, sister. So the stuff you missed, Trisha, that will be online. Okay, I've just got to get my stuff going. All right, buddy. And thank you for all the stuff you've been posting on Teams. That's been brilliant. That's been absolutely brilliant. All right, everybody. Have yourself a lovely day, my friends.